Standing proudly on its own traffic island in the middle of the Strand, St Clement Danes is one of London's most recognisable churches. Although the front of the church is currently hidden behind restoration work, its history stretches back well over 1,000 years. Beside us stands Dr. Samuel Johnson, the great writer and lexicographer who worshipped here while living nearby in the 18th century. Standing guard outside the main entrance are two of the Royal Air Force's most influential commanders. On one side is Air Chief Marshal Lord Dowding, whose leadership of fighter command proved decisive during the Battle of Britain. Opposite stands Marshal of the Royal Air Force, Sir Arthur Harris, Commander-in-Chief of Bomber Command during the Second World War. Together they reflect the role this church now plays as the central church of the Royal Air Force. Although the present church was rebuilt by Sir Christopher Wren between 1680 and 1682, the site itself is far older, with Christian worship here dating back to at least the 9th century. Despite popular belief, the Great Fire of London never reached St Clement Danes. Instead, Wren rebuilt the church because the medieval building had fallen into such poor condition. But perhaps its greatest test came centuries later. On the night of May the 10th, 1941, German bombing left little more than the outer walls and the tower standing. Following years of careful restoration and an international appeal for support, the church was reconsecrated by Queen Elizabeth II in 1958 and the central church of the Royal Air Force, the role it still continues to fulfil to this day. As you approach the sanctuary, it's easy to see why St Clement Danes feels so distinctive. Although rebuilt by Sir Christopher Wren in the 17th century, much of what you see today reflects the careful post-war restoration that followed the Blitz. The striking stained glass windows, designed by Carl Edwards, blend Christian symbolism with the church's close connection to the Royal Air Force, reminding visitors that this is both a place of worship and a national memorial. Above the chancel arch hangs the restored Stuart Royal coat of arms. At first glance it appears to be a familiar royal emblem, but the inscription beneath tells the church's extraordinary story. Rebuilt by Christopher Wren in 1682, destroyed by the Luftwaffe in 1941, and restored by the Royal Air Force in 1958. It's a powerful reminder that while the building has changed over the centuries, its place at the heart of London's history has endured. Few churches can tell centuries of history so simply in a single inscription. One of the church's greatest treasures is this magnificent pulpit, attributed to the celebrated woodcarver Rinling Gibbon. By remarkable good fortune, it had been removed for safekeeping to St Paul's Cathedral before the Blitz, allowing it to survive when much of the church around it was lost. Beneath your feet, the Welsh slate floor tells another chapter of the story. Set into it are badges of the hundreds of Royal Air Force commands, groups, stations and squadrons, each representing people who served across generations. Among them is this memorial to the 16 Polish squadrons that flew with the RAF during the Second World War, recognising the extraordinary contribution of Polish airmen to the Allied victory. And this was actually one of my favourite memorials in the church. The detailing was absolutely perfect, and of course it carries the traditional Polish crest in the centre. Near the entrance lies the badge of the Royal Air Force itself, surrounded by emblems of Commonwealth Air Forces. It's a reminder that this church commemorates not only Britain's service personnel, but those from across the Commonwealth who served alongside them. Lining the walls are the books of remembrance, containing the names of more than 150,000 men and women who lost their lives while serving in the Royal Air Force. Every day another page is turned, ensuring that every name is remembered each year, and they all sit in these beautiful ornate glass cabinets, each one marked with its own number and an eagle on the top. And the remembrance extends beyond Britain. This American Book of Remembrance records around 16,000 United States airmen based in Britain who lost their lives during the Second World War. It serves as a lasting tribute to the close partnership between British and American airmen, whose cooperation played such a vital role in the Allied victory. It's another reminder that the story of St Clement Danes reaches far beyond the walls, honouring those who came from across the world to serve in the Allied victory. Even the smallest details continue the story. The lamps mounted along the nave each display the badge of an RAF squadron, quietly weaving the service's identity into the architecture itself. As you walk through the church, you're constantly reminded that this isn't simply a memorial tucked away in one corner, From the floor beneath your feet to the lamps above the pews, almost every part of the building reflects its enduring connection with the Royal Air Force. The carved heraldic cartouches on the pew's ends belong to successive Chiefs of the Air Staff, the professional heads of the Royal Air Force, beginning with Sir Frederick Sykes, the RAF's first Chief of the Air Staff in 1918. They trace the leadership of the service through much of its history. It's another reminder that St Clement Danes isn't simply associated with the RAF, it's become part of the service's own heritage. Looking back towards the West End is this magnificent Harrison organ, presented to St Clement Danes by the United States Air Force. More than just a musical instrument, it stands as a lasting symbol of the friendship forged between Allied air forces during the Second World War. It's one of several gifts from around the world that helped transform a bombed-out church into an international memorial we see today. St Clement Danes has been many things throughout its long history. A medieval parish church, a masterpiece rebuilt by Sir Christopher Wren, a victim of the Blitz, and today the central church of the Royal Air Force. Yet perhaps its greatest story isn't how it was destroyed, but how it was reborn. Thanks to the generosity of Britain and its allies, a roofless shell became a living church once more. A lasting reminder that even after great destruction, hope can endure. Thank you so much for watching the Pew Review, and I'll see you on the next one. Cheers!